So may we start? Hi everyone. Hi again. It's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. Hello. Um, I just saw a weird ass movie, and we're gonna talk about it. It's a movie that's been on my radar since earlier this summer for a very interesting reason, and that film is Annette. Annette is directed by Leos Carax, a filmmaker I am aware of, but I've never seen one of his films. This is my introduction. No, not even Holy Motors. Holy Motors is kind of one of those films that I know is great. It's like I, Tonya, that's been in my watch list forever, but I just need to watch it. I know it's great. I will one day. But this is my introduction to Leos Carax. It's written by Sparks, Russ and Ron Mail. And what's Annette about? The plotline will sound simple. It certainly isn't. But basically, the logline is Adam Driver plays. First off, before we let's start about the plot. Adam Driver plays a comedian. His name is Henry McHenry. Thought that was kind of cute. He's a stand-up comic who is one of those stand-up. He's kind of an anti-comedy stand-up. He's kind of in the same league as something like, I don't know, like a Stephen Wright or an Eric Andre kind of thing, where it's like, or maybe a little bit of Andy Kaufman, where he's mostly just kind of confrontational, insulting the audience and saying just shockingly, taboo things, and kind of to get a reaction out of the audience. He's also kind of a monster, but we don't know that just yet. He meets the beautiful Anne. She's a beautiful and opera singer with a beautiful look and a beautiful voice, played by the beautiful and extremely terrific Marion Cotillard. They fall in love. They have a whirlwind romance, and soon they're not only married, but Anne gives birth to a daughter named Annette, who is played in the majority of the movie, in fact, all but the final scene of the film, by, like, a weird hybrid marionette and, like, animatronic baby doll puppet. It's like a puppet. And, but a puppet that changes from age to age. And also in this circle are Sparks themselves as kind of a Greek chorus, as well as a conductor who may be in love with Anne and have a secret, played by Simon Helberg from The Big Bang Theory. It's Wolowitz from The Big Bang Theory, who's really good in the film, in his supporting role. And what they soon discover is, after a tragedy befalls them, is that Annette has quite a beautiful voice. She got something from Dear Old Mom, which is a beautiful singing voice, and she soon becomes a child star, much to the detriment of her relationship with dear old dad. And also to the detriment of Henry McHenry's sanity as his darker side comes out. Listen, all while the singing is done in chant, basically, in Spark style. It's a musical. So, just let's get it out of the way. This is the film you heard about from Cannes with the, sorry mom, there's no other way to say it, singing head sex scene. That's what it is. It's he's giving head while singing. That's to Marion Cotillard. But here's the thing. I feel like people are going to harp on that element as it's a graphic scene. It's a graphic sex scene. But it's tastefully done. Marion Cotillard is right where she said it's tastefully done. It's tastefully done. It's weird, but it's tastefully done. It's not, like, exploitative, and it's not the whole movie. Don't take just that piece and go like, oh, this is the weird singing blowjob movie. No, don't do that. Like, this movie is so much more than that. Also, just a little backstory. To the dewy slopes of June of this year, I went out of town to see a wonderful documentary called The Sparks Brothers, which centered on Russ and Ron Mail. And a kind of a thread in that movie, as I mentioned, is that they were trying to make a film, but it kind of kept stopping and starting different films, acquiring different properties. One was going to be with Tim Burton, one was going to be like with a famous French New Wave filmmaker. And then at the end, we saw a little bit of Adam Driver and Marion Cotillard, and they confirmed, yes, we are now in the process of shooting our first film that we've written, called Annette. That's the film that was in The Sparks Brothers. And so that's what this film is that I'm reviewing. So it was on my radar, regardless of who directed it, because it was the Sparks, and it was also Adam Driver and Marion Cotillard. I'm not gonna be rubbish. I loved Annette. I'm also not going to read around the bush. There is a good chance many of you will hate Annette. Because I'm going to tell you, this is one of those weird, batshit movies where, like, every positive criticism I'd agreed with, and also every negative criticism on some way that for people who hate it, I wouldn't judge that person. Like, it's the kind of movie where I would recommend it in a general sense, but to individual people, I don't know. Because it's so bizarre. Like, the fact that the baby's a marionette and there's, weird sex involving singing, that's not even the half of it. It's, like, bizarre. The way it's framed is bizarre. And the movie lets you know about that pretty much from the start. No pun intended, because the opening song of the film is one of the first things you see is the Sparks singing, "So, may we start?" And then everyone who's in the movie, including our three leads, rock hands around this long wonder around this city singing, "So, may we start?" They're breaking the fourth wall and saying, look, this is in movie land. This is not in the real world. We do not have to follow the rules of real world logic. It's funny in a twisted sort of way at times. It's scary at times, kind of horrific. It's weird as all get out, but it's also kind of eerily haunting and romantic and beautiful. And it's about a lot of things about child stardom and the detriment it has on the child, as well as her or his relationship with the parents. It's about mental illness. It's about Me Too, and it's about finally calling to the carpet predatory individuals and why that's so important. It's about how love can blind you to the deep, deep flaws of a person to a fatal effect. It's about longing. It's about all these things. And it's also about the coolness of the operatic style of the stage and weird things like puppet kids. And this movie's bizarre, okay? I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I've never seen anything quite like it before. This is one of those rare movies that I think, there are great movies and there are bad movies, but very rarely is there a movie that is so just top to bottom original as Annette. And I'm gonna give it 5 stars out of 5. It's one of those movies where I love it. I'm probably gonna need a little bit before I can watch it again, because it's also, I should mention, 2 hours and 20 minutes long. And that usually wouldn't seem like such a daunting effect for other films, but also the way this movie's done is kind of aggressively weird and exhausting. And I mean that as also a positive, because by the end you are kind of like, it's one of those movies sort of like Uncut Gems, where once it's over you're like, I just want a Xanax and I want a nap, or like Shiva Baby. It's that kind of feel. So yeah, Annette gets 5 stars. Trailer Trash, none. Watch on Amazon Prime. Was there shawarma? Yes, there was. The last 3, the credits go, and there's for about 3 minutes, and then 3 minutes to the end of the credits, there is like a final song, where, with the whole cast and crew, in the style of the opening scene, where they're basically saying so long to the audience and like wishing everyone safe travels, and it goes all the way to after the credits, from that 3-minute mark to all the way after credits. So stick around for it. It's really funny. It's a nice little, especially if you love the film like I do, it's a perfect cap to the film. Alright. Okay, we will try to check out Vivo tomorrow, and next week we got Candyman, He's All That, and Vacation Friends and Maybe Together with James McAvoy, directed by Stephen Daldry. And we're also going to try at some point to talk about some shows, maybe do another kind of 2-part goodie bag, 2 Electric Boogaloo. That'll be next time, and until next time, let us finish. I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy. See it all, and I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all, I appreciate you all. I love you all, class dismissed. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. Go see Annette. It's really good. And if you like this video, give it a like if you wanna. Give it a subscribe if you wanna. Click that bell. I don't know what it does, but that's what I'm supposed to say. And then if you want to find me elsewhere, more reviews, lists, and other fun stuff, you can check me out on letterboxd.com at Grant, the movie and TV guy. Some of you have. And, thank you all. Go check out Annette. It might not be for you, but it's worth checking out. Alright, see you soon. Bye.